period. You don't like to go into the dressing room having been scored on in the last minute or so of the period.
For the Penguins, Paul Gardner, Rick Keogh, Randy Carlyle, Ross Lonsberry, Mario Faubert. Messier against Gardner on the faceoff. Puck is dropped. Carlyle keeps it in, poked out of the zone by Glenn Anderson. Loose puck. Anderson has it there, and he clears it all the way down. Edmonton going with Messier, Anderson, Lee Fogelin, and Kevin Lowe. Ross Lonsberry, number 18, the veteran left wing. Drops it back for Carlyle. Up the right side, Mario Faubert. Faubert pulled down, penalty call. Messier's going to go for Edmonton. It'll be a two-man advantage. Drive by Carlyle, stick save by Moog, and the Penguins will have a two-man advantage.
This is something you don't want to have against the top goal-scoring team in the league on the power play. Messier pulling him down is going to now allow Pittsburgh to have a 5-on-3 advantage. Here's Messier just hooking him, pulls him right down, and referee Greg Medill was standing right there to watch it. Carlyle putting a shot on net right away, getting a whistle, and now with a minute 46 to go, Pittsburgh having a two-man advantage.
1:46 to go in the period, a minute 31 to go on that first penalty. There you see the clock. So a lot of time for the Penguins. They can take advantage of this two-man situation. A lot of time left in that first penalty. They can score a quick goal, still have a man advantage. On the second penalty, Keogh keeps in, fires it in deep. Around the boards, Fogelin winds up and clears. Faubert comes back for it. Faubert, number 5. Glenn Anderson forechecking there for Edmonton. Faubert holds, feeds Carlyle. 5-on-3 skating advantage. Paul Gardner to the line. Keogh down the left side has the puck. Keogh in front, save, rebound, another save. Gardner's tied up. It's in the corner. Lonsberry passes back to Faubert at the point. Faubert holds across to Carlyle. In deep, Lonsberry shot blocked in front. Lonsberry back pass to Carlyle. Carlyle on the boards. Carlyle centers in front. Gardner off his stick. That's Lonsberry. Lonsberry carries. A minute to go in the period. Back pass to Keogh, left point. Keogh fires across to Faubert. The drive, saved by Moogie holds. 36 seconds to go in the first penalty to LaRiviere, 1:05 to go in the penalty to Messier, and 51 seconds to go in the first period.
And Edmonton keeping two people up front, forcing that puck outside, allowing the goaltender to see those long shots right there, and Moog wisely holding on to it. Whenever Edmonton puts two people up front, Pittsburgh's going to have to slide someone in that slot, and he should be able to pick a pass off, and the other two people should be closer to the net. So you're working 2-on-1 in the net, one guy open in the middle, and two people out in the points. But they're just staying too wide. They're working around the perimeter, and until then, they weren't getting any good shots away.
Gardner on the face-off against Gary Unger. Gardner is chased. And in comes Ross Lonsberry to take the draw against Unger. False start. Puck is dropped. Side of the net. Picked up by Siltanen. Tries to clear and does. All the way down. Less than half a minute to go in that first penalty. 40 seconds to go in the first period. Carlyle picks up the puck for Pittsburgh. Glenn Anderson checking him. Carlyle feeds Keogh in center. Keogh's pass blocked by Siltanen. Carlyle has the puck. Carlyle across the line, pokes it in. Siltanen after him, bangs him against the boards. Gardner a back pass to Lonsberry. Lonsberry cross ice to Faubert. Faubert to Carlyle, in deep for Keogh. He's tied up. Loose puck comes to Moogie, grabs it, and holds on with 2 seconds to go. In that first penalty to Gary LaRiviere, 17 seconds to go in the period, and Andy Moog hanging tough in the net.
He certainly is, but it's because his penalty killers have done an outstanding job, especially Risto Siltanen right here, the little fella. First he iced the puck, then he put 2 hits on Carlyle, and right there he forced a bad pass, and by the time Carlyle was able to shoot it, Kevin Lowe got back into block. A fine job by those Edmonton penalty killers. As you say, 2 seconds in the first penalty, 31 in the second, 17 to go in the period. And what a job this Edmonton penalty spot has done right now.
No score in this game. Back to the point, out of the zone. LaRiviere on ice. Now it's a 5-on-4 Pittsburgh advantage for another 20 seconds. As this first period winds down to a close, Moog winds it around the boards, loose puck, 3 seconds to go in the period. Faubert at the point, won't get the shot off. The first period has come to an end, and you can't say enough about the penalty-killing job of the Edmonton Oilers, down 2 men for a minute and a half. They were able to kill off that penalty to Riviere. Just 14 seconds remain in the penalty to Messier. Good job, Lou.
That's right, Sam, and it should give them a lift, even though they were outshot in this period 12-4. Anytime you kill off a 5 against 3 like that for that amount of time, it's got to give you a big lift. That gave Pittsburgh 3 power play chances to 1 for Edmonton. So I would think right now Edmonton feels good at a 0-0 score at the end of 1 period.
Period for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They played well. They had a couple of power play chances. Shots on goal, Pittsburgh 12, Edmonton only 4. The score, 0-0. Good job by Andy Moog in goal for the Edmonton Oilers. Greg Millen really not tested. So here at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena, the Pittsburgh Penguins 0, the Edmonton Oilers 0. We'll be back with more hockey right after this.
In 1955, when we were starting out, a Volkswagen was already a good deal. Now, Volkswagen celebrates its silver anniversary with amazing deals on the Rabbit, Jetta, Dasher, Scirocco, Vanagon, all our Volkswagens at silver anniversary prices.
You guys ready to deal?
Oh, yeah!
Silver anniversary Volkswagens. Silver anniversary prices.
Vito Adefirmo, former world middleweight champion, headlines ESPN's Top Rank Boxing live from Chicago Thursday. Hard-hitting Tony Braxton and Al Clay will square off for the ESPN Top Rank Junior Middleweight National Championship. And lightweight Boom Boom Mancini, son of the famous 50s fighter, meets former Canadian champ Al Ford. Adefirmo puts his 46-5-2 record on the line against Mauricio Aldana. Join Sal Marciano for an all-star card featuring Vito Adefirmo on Top Rank Boxing.
I'm standing at the site of an historic battle, Wall Street. That battle was against the high cost of investing, led more than 10 years ago by Source Securities with a new idea called discount brokerage. Source Securities, remember that name. We're the discount broker that can save you up to 75% on commissions over your regular broker. With Source, you can trade any security in any market, get rapid, accurate executions, earn high interest on cash awaiting reinvestment, knowing that the securities in your account are safely held by Source's worldwide clearing firm with $500,000 protection. What you won't find is advice or high-pressure salesmen. Source Securities is for investors who think for themselves and pocket the savings. For more information, call toll-free 800-228-5656. That's 800-228-5656. Source Securities. We can help you save a small fortune while you invest to make one. Call now.
Sam Rosen and Lou Nanne at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. We're live as you watch it on ESPN, your total sports network. End of the first period. There you see the score. Pittsburgh Penguins, Edmonton Oilers, scoreless. Good first period of hockey as these teams battle for playoff position. Pittsburgh right now in 13th overall with 4 games remaining after this game. They have 70 points, 1 point ahead of the New York Rangers who have 4 games left. Toronto has 67 points, Edmonton also with 67, and Washington with 66, but Washington with just 3 games to go. Of course, the big story here in Pittsburgh as we watch is Wayne Gretzky and his assault on the single-season scoring record. Lou Palmer has a close-up look at
Everyone, that is, but the Oilers' NHL opponents. In only his second year in the league, last year's MVP has torn up the league again. The 20-year-old phenom has dominated hockey headlines the past couple of weeks as he's closed in on Phil Esposito's record for most points in a season and Bobby Orr's record for assists in a single season. Both of those records were set a decade ago in the 70-71 campaign. How much of Esposito and Orr did young Gretzky see?
Not too much, to be honest with you. I was always a Detroit Red Wing fan, but they were always in playoffs and things like that, so I saw them a fair amount. But when they were really in their prime, in '69, '70, I was only 8 or 9 years old, so I really, don't remember them that well.
Even at that young age, Gretzky was being scouted and earmarked for greatness. His number 99 stands for 1999, the year his contract with Edmonton runs out. The Oilers have made Gretzky a millionaire at 20, and in return, they hope he will ultimately lead the Oilers to a Stanley Cup. While Gretzky is by no means the only talented young player on the Edmonton team, without him, the Oilers would not be in playoff contention this season and probably could not win a Stanley Cup in the future.
There hasn't been a team in the NHL that's been able to win the Stanley Cup without somebody like him, and we're fortunate that we've got him to start off with. Now we just have to find the players to go around him.
All the fuss the media has made over Gretzky and his pursuit of the records hasn't fazed him. Above all else, he is a team player. The Oilers are struggling for a playoff berth, and Gretzky's first concern is winning the remaining games.
We're thinking playoffs. Nobody mentions the records at all to me. After a game, guys congratulate me and things like that. Like I said, we have tremendous guys, and they don't worry about it. They said, let's win the hockey game, and the more we win, I'm sure that, that my individual stats will improve.
I don't think the record really means very much to him. I think that the foremost thing in his mind is us getting in the playoffs. He's not the kind of a guy that thinks about anything for himself individually. He's very much for the team, and he's a great leader for us. And as he gets older, he's going to get better at that.
If not
Back here at the Pittsburgh Civic Center, we're between the first and second periods with a score. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Edmonton Oilers 0-0. We'll be back with more hockey right after this.
He's got a good future ahead of him.
Got a look at Glenn Sather, the coach and general manager of the Edmonton Oilers. Sliding across the ice, here's Eddie Johnston of the Pittsburgh Penguins, who coached the Chicago Blackhawks last year and has had the Penguins playing better of late in the second half of this season. Penguins are unbeaten in their last 4 games coming into this one tonight. And there's the man that we watch as he sets to break the record held by Phil Esposito, set 10 years ago. And what a gracious gesture on Espo's part. Sent him a telegram of congratulations when Gretzky was in Detroit.
That's right. Phil wished him well. He hadn't even tied the record yet. Phil sent him a telegram from New York before the Detroit game, wishing him well and hoping he'd break the record. And as everybody knows, it's a true credit to the game and to everyone to have a Phil like Gretzky break a person like Esposito's record, because both youngsters, well, Phil not as young as Gretzky now, but still young enough, both people a great credit to the game and outstanding hockey players. Excellent ambassadors for the sport of hockey.
Still 14 seconds to go on the penalty to Mark Messier of the Edmonton Oilers. So the period starts with the Penguins skating 5-on-4. There's Mark Messier, who went off for hooking at 18-14. Underway, second period, no score. Carlisle sends on the left side. Across the line comes Rod Schutt. Centers in front. Bumped out of the play, Malone. Picked up by Unger, and he clears it out. And that'll do it. Messier returns. Teams are back at full strength. Oilers killing off a 2-man advantage for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Out to center ice, Glenn Anderson, checked by Carlisle. Gives it up to Faubert. Faubert out for Malone. It's by him down to the Edmonton zone. Icing was waved off. LaRiviere has the puck behind the net. Riviere with Malone forechecking. Malone comes behind the net. LaRiviere tries to get away. Hooks it up the boards. And Anderson clears the zone. Lead for Gary Unger down the left side. Bumps with Carlisle. Loose puck behind the goal line. Messier bumps with Schutt. Carlisle and Unger wrestle each other down. Penalty upcoming. Messier was pulled down by Schutt, and it looks like Schutt's going to go. Delayed penalty on the Penguins. Extra man on ice for Edmonton. Across the line come the Oilers. Battle along the boards. It's out to center. Coffey in control. Oilers skating 6-on-5. Delayed penalty being called on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Anderson with a back pass. Messier sends to Anderson. Anderson comes up. Anderson blocked at the line. Still loose. Fired in front. Gloved by Millen. Holds on. Now the penalty will be called on the Pittsburgh Penguins with 18:37 to go in the second period. Greg Medill makes the call.
And you know, the people were yelling at Dill because the Pittsburgh defenseman Faubert touched that puck, but he didn't control it. All he did was put his hand up and knock it down. Puck went right back to Edmonton, and you have to control the puck, and usually they might be a little easy and blow the whistle quickly. Here you'll see the penalty coming up on Shutt as he's going to pull Messier down right here, and that's a tripping penalty. But whenever there's a delayed call, Sam, it's the referee's discretion, and he has to decide whether you've controlled the puck or not. Sometimes if you just touch it, they'll blow the whistle, but he made the right call there. And so Edmonton's able to get that face-off in the Pittsburgh zone.
This will be the Oilers' second man advantage. Gretzky pushes the face-off ahead. Stackhouse tries to clear around the boards, but it's over the glass into the crowd. Bringing up another face-off deep in the Pittsburgh end. Rod Shutt off, 2 minutes for tripping. And you look at George Ferguson.
Ferguson came over with Randy Carlyle from Toronto in a deal for Dave Burrows 2 seasons ago, and both have been mainstays of this hockey club.
Back past Silton in the drive. Save made by Millen. Rebound carries to the far side. Gretzky wrapped up by Price. Price tries to clear it up ahead. Knocked down. On a whistle for a stick above the shoulder. Greg Medill says the face-off will come out of the zone as Doug Hicks knocked the puck down with a stick above the shoulder.
That face-off will go all the way down into Edmonton zone. Whenever you're in a power play and you hit the puck in the air over your shoulder with the stick, the face-off goes all the way down to your defensive zone. And that's a bad break for the Oilers because you've got to go all the way back down the ice now and gain control of that zone again. You should use your hand or go back and pick up that puck.
Wayne Gretzky, Brett Callaghan, Yari Curry, Doug Hicks, and Risto Siltanen on ice for Edmonton. Face-off. And the Oilers come up. This is Curry circling now. Yari Curry, number 17, across for Doug Hicks. Hicks sends in, blocked at the line by Price, clears it back all the way down. No score in the game. Just about 2 minutes gone by, second period. Wayne Gretzky carries, another good move around Shepard. Gretzky stick handles, comes across, centers for Curry, goes down. Loose puck, cleared out of the zone by Shepard. Curry looked like he was about to get a shot off and then fell down. This is Risto Siltanen, number 8. Siltanen by Lonsberry. Siltanen carries across the line. Siltanen throws it in deep. Callaghan goes after it in the corner. Callaghan winds it in deep. Price and Gretzky go behind the net. Gretzky centers for Curry. It's blocked and picked up by Lonsberry. Lonsberry tied up by Callaghan. Price comes in to pick up the puck. Pat Price gives it to Stackhouse. Stackhouse clears it all the way down. 45 seconds to go in the penalty to Rod Shutt of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Here come the Oilers. Mark Messier, number 11. Messier across. Messier holds up. Drop pass broken up by Shepard. Feeds Ferguson. 2-on-2. Ferguson with room. The drive wide. Up the far side, Messier. Lead for Anderson. Anderson across. Drop to Gretzky. Gretzky carries in deep. Gretzky behind the net. Gretzky backhands in front. Score! Gretzky's got the record. As he sets up the goal, it's a power play goal. And Wayne Gretzky, with that assist, has broken the single-season record with 153 points, his 100th assist, and a standing ovation here at the Civic Arena.
Makes you want to stand up and cheer, Sam, and it was just a great Gretzky play. Comes down the right side, and you can't believe that he can't get checked. He just knows how to get away from someone. He's coming down the boards. It looks like he's going to get checked, and he puts it into another gear. Watch this. You're going to have a drop pass from Anderson to Gretzky right here. He just threads his way through. Look at him. Now watch him get away right here again from Carlyle. You think he's got him? No. Comes right around the net, and all alone is Messier. Backhand pass across in. The record, a new National Hockey League record. The amazing Gretzky does it again on just an amazing play.
That's beautiful to watch. What a play. Perfect pass. Such a great soft pass is easy to handle.
Incredible passer. It just seems to thread its way through traffic right on the blade of a stick and just makes it easy for people to score.
It's a power play goal. The Oilers lead it by the score of 1-0. Messier gets the goal. Wayne Gretzky with 100 assists, just 2 away from Bobby Orr's single-season record of 102 assists. You look at the bench, and on the far side, toward the end of the bench, Wayne Gretzky, number 99, with 153 points, a new National Hockey League single-season record. Gardner sends it in deep. Loose puck, side of the net. Kevin Lowe picks it up, sends to Stan Weir. Weir comes up, number 21. Fires it across, off the boards, taken in by Fogelin. Gets around Lonsberry. Throws it, he's blocked by Chorney. Battle behind the net. Hooked up ahead for Keogh. Rick Keogh, number 17. Keogh comes in down the right side and shoots it, partially blocked by Lowe. Lowe picks up the puck. Caroms it off the boards. Gardner keeps it in. Taken away by Lowe. And Kevin Lowe clears the zone. 1-0 Edmonton leads it. 4 minutes gone by, second period. Loose puck. Lumley battling, it's poked aside. Gardner tries to get it to Keogh. And to the near side, Dave Hunter sends it ahead for Weir. Weir sends it into the Pittsburgh zone. Millen leaves it for Mark Chorney. Chorney, number 24 out of North Dakota, sends down the left side. Shot comes across the line. He's tied up, pulled down, no call. Sent side of the net. Gardner comes out, backhanded score!
Well, Paul Gardner left alone momentarily, and that's all he needs around the net, because he's got a great scoring touch. Took that pass, stepped out in front of the net, fake, moved down, put the shot in. Mook got part of it, but it still went in. The crowd yelling right here for a penalty call against Edmonton. There was no penalty coming. The defenseman Price just follows that play up, feeds it to Gardner. Now watch, everyone turn away from him. As soon as you leave him alone, he steps out, makes a backhanded shot. It hits Moog and goes in the net.
1-1 the score, 15:35 to go. Penguins send it in. Messier picks up the puck, Lee checking him, over to Anderson, up the boards. And Gary Unger controls for Edmonton, sends out Messier. Messier breaks across the line, poke checked away from him. Lee loses. Coffey has it for Edmonton, 1-1 the score. Sent all the way down. This will be an icing call. That'll bring the face-off all the way back. 15:12 to go, second period. 1-1 the score. We'll be back in just a moment. Lunani at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena, and we show you again that record-breaking play by Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky just pulling away from the defenseman, spots Messier all alone at the side of the net. Goalie Greg Millen, his former teammate and junior, Sault Ste. Marie, had no chance as Gretzky sets up Messier to break Phil Esposito's record.
The score is tied as Paul Gardner scored his 34th goal of the season to tie it up. Rod Schutt got an assist. Loose puck comes out. Shot by Lee is a save by Moog. He got the leg on it. Anderson hit by Schutt. The Riviere tied up by Malone. They battle. The Riviere and Malone in the corner. Anderson comes in. Down goes Malone. And the puck carried out by Gary Unger down the right side. Unger against Stackhouse. Drop for Messier. Nice pass for Anderson. Pokes it in deep and knocked aside by Stackhouse. Good passing by the Oilers, but just couldn't get a shot off. This is Pat Price for Pittsburgh. Sends Rod Schutt to center. Cross ice Stackhouse. 1-1 the score. 14:30 to go, second period. Stackhouse drops it. Sent in deep. Blocked by Coffey in front. And he clears it out of the zone. Pat Price, number 2. Price carries. Whacked that by LaRiviere. Whistle stops play. Offside the call. 14:18 to go in the second period. And you look at number 7, Paul Coffey.
Coffey, a first-round draft pick by Edmonton this season, came from Kitchener, actually started his junior career also at Sault Ste. Marie, and he went over to Kitchener this year. He's a first-round pick by Edmonton. He's got, like a lot of these Edmonton youngsters, great speed and a good shot.
You know, Sault Ste. Marie, what's the hotbed? What brings about all those great players?
Well, Gretzky, Millen, and Coffey came from other cities, but Esposito brothers, Mackeys, and so on, all were born there. Great hockey tradition in the Sault.
Not to mention Lunani.
Oh, I got lucky.
Faubert's drive is blocked. Picked up by Hicks, and he clears it out. Gretzky breaking down the left side against Carlisle. There they go into the corner. Gretzky takes it away, centers, just by Curry. Hicks, a backhander in deep, broken up. Gretzky goes into the corner against Carlisle again. Loose puck, picked up by Curry, feeds Gretzky outside of Callaghan, tied up by Carlisle. Loose puck in the corner. Shepard has it. Winds it around. Picked up by Errol Thompson. Thompson for Pittsburgh. Cross ice. It's behind Ferguson. Broken up by Hicks. Loose puck in the Pittsburgh zone. Mario Faubert out to center. Down the left side. Across the line. Going in is Thompson. He shoots. Saved by Andy Moog. Rebound behind the goal. And up the near side. Picked up by Brett Callaghan. Callaghan, number 18. Callaghan pokes it ahead. Broken up at the line. Penguins come back. Loose in center. Risto Silton into Kevin Lowe. Lowe, number 4, carries up for Edmonton. 1-1 the score. Lowe pokes it in. Chases it down with Carlisle. They go behind the net. Carlisle bangs Lowe into the boards. Dug free and cleared out. Here come the Penguins. Out to center off the boards. Broken up there by Dave Hunter, number 12, carries in, then loses, and Faubert clears it all the way down. Icing was waved off. Moog leaves it for Kevin Lowe. 12:35 to go, second period. 1-1 the score. Lowe being checked from behind by Gardner, sends it in deep. Millen stops it, winds it up the boards. Stan Weir keeps it in deep. Battle in the corner. Poked ahead by Gardner to Keogh. Keogh sends across for Mark Chorney. Chorney, number 24. Winds it around the near side and out to center it comes. Battle along the boards, picked up by Paul Gardner. He has the Pittsburgh goal, his 34th of the season. Nice lead pass for Lunsbury. For Keogh by him. He was tied up by Lowe. Moog feeds out of the zone. Dave Hunter cleared it out. Back the other way. Picked up by Lowe. Across for Lee Fogelin. Out to Dave Lumley. Gives it to Stan Weir. Weir carries. Offside. Dave Hunter ahead of the play. 11:50 to go. Second period. 1-1 the score. We'll be back in just a moment.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend. Big Apple style. The New York City pace is fast and furious, but in this town, people play as hard as they work. So whenever they get the chance, New Yorkers enjoy a little of that weekend feeling with a smooth and mellow taste of Michelob.
Put a little weekend in your weekend.
Yeah. Big game coming up Tuesday night live on ESPN, 8:30 Eastern Time from the Met Center in Bloomington, Minnesota, when the North Stars meet up with the St. Louis Blues. Joe Boyle and Pete Stemkowski will be there to bring you all the action live at 8:30 Eastern Time on ESPN, your total sports network. Big game against the Blues, Lou, for your team.
Well, for our team and St. Louis. St. Louis in a dogfight for first place. We're still trying to get home ice advantage. It seems certain that we'll be playing Boston in the playoffs. So our position is basically set. It's just who's going to get the home ice. But we've got 2 games at St. Louis next week, so we can be a factor in just what happens in the National Hockey League as to who wins the league title.
Boston's closing in on Calgary. Flames have lost 5 in a row. Boston just 3 points behind them.
That's right. That loss to Toronto for Boston was a big one. Otherwise, they'd be 1 behind right now.
Puck fired in by the Edmonton Oilers. Millen puts it into the corner. 1-1 the score. This is Messier, number 11, feed in the slot. Poked away, loose puck along the boards. Battle is on there. It's poked free in the corner, Glenn Anderson. Anderson chased by Chorney, centers for Hagman, who scores.
What a play by Anderson. He looks like he's going around the net. Everybody looks that way, even the goaltender, and he gives it out the short side to Matty Hagman. Hagman just had a wide open net. Millen, no chance. You'll see it was the tenacious forechecking, though, of Glenn Anderson working on the boards right here. He comes up with the puck. Everybody chases him. Now, look, he just gives it right back to Hagman. Even the goaltender didn't know where the puck was. No chance at all. Baxter moving over to cover Hagman, but Hagman already had the puck in the net by the time he got there.
Great camera work showed you goaltender Greg Millen looking left, and the puck was out to his right, and in it went. Matty Hagman scoring, makes it 2-1 Edmonton. Anderson and Messier get the assist. 2-1 the score, Edmonton leading it. Puck kept in the zone by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Price sends it in deep. Loose puck in the near corner. Battle there. Peter Lee goes in. LaRiviere, it's poked free. Hagman sends to Messier. Messier with a lead pass, little too far. Anderson after it. Anderson puts it in front, blocked by Stackhouse. Price tries to clear the zone, kept in by Coffey with a drive. Save Millen. Clears the rebound behind the goal. Picked up by Messier, tried to feed it in deep, intercepted by Price. Price comes up. Price to center, being chased from behind by Anderson, fires it in. Messier picks up the puck. Sends it back behind the net for Paul Coffey, number 7. Coffey comes up. Errol Thompson chases him. Coffey carries in, loses. Thompson picks up the puck. Thompson up the left side. And here come the Penguins. Shepherd feeding Ferguson. And a whistle for an offside. The puck poked back into the zone by the Oilers. 10:09 to go. 2-1 the score. Edmonton leading it. Doug Hicks, number 5. A guy that you know, Lou.
Yes, he started his career with the North Stars, then went to Chicago, and then he was picked up by Edmonton. Here's a fine chance by Edmonton. A shot from the point, and right in front was Anderson. He almost got a stick on it to put Edmonton up 3-1. What a night that Anderson's having, by the way.
He is a good skater. Penguins come to center. Greg Shepherd, number 19, fanned on the pass as he was tied up by Siltanen and Hicks, and the puck is cleared out to center. Gretzky has it. Feed for Curry. It's off his skate. Faubert tries to break it up and clears it back into the Edmonton zone. Risto Siltanen back for it. Played a little over half of the second period. 2-1 the score. Edmonton leading it. It was scoreless in the first. Wayne Gretzky has set a new record for single season points. 153 with an assist in this game tonight. Brett Callaghan loses. Faubert cross ice, and out of the zone come the Penguins. Errol Thompson. He's met at the line by Siltanen, and Hicks winds it around the boards. Kept in at the point by Faubert with a drive, deflects wide. Up the far side, Carlisle keeps it in. Carlisle throws it in front, knocked aside by Andy Moog. Loose puck along the boards. Callaghan clears the zone. Puck picked up by Carlisle. Feeds it back in. Stopped by Siltanen, who carries. Risto Siltanen goes down with a drive. Stick save, Millen. Rebound into the crowd. Stopping play with 8:54 to go, second period. Edmonton 2, Pittsburgh 1. We'll be back in just a moment.
Takes it in front, Moby scores! Shot, score! Score! Shot, score! 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 Score!
Score with the top teams in the NHL on ESPN. ESPN is your ticket to total sports. The Quebec Nordiques and Hartford Whalers meet live Wednesday. See who saves their playoff chance.
With Lou Nanne, we're at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. There goes Risto. He's got a shot.
He certainly has. He made some good moves coming up the ice, and he just puts that one right on the net. Siltanen, another Finnish player, just like Yuri Curry, 2 fine Finnish players. And Matty Hagman was the first one over here that's centering that Messier line here tonight.
He's a small defenseman, but he plays tough, Lou.
He's got great skills on his skates, and when you got that kind of agility, you handle the puck real well.
This is Paul Baxter carrying it in deep with a shot that's wide. Off the glass, Lumley picks it up. Dave Lumley, number 20. On the rush, comes in, he's tied up, loses. Weir picks it up. Weir tried to feed it across the block, and the Penguins come back. Rick Keogh, number 17. Keogh across, met by Fogelin, and Kevin Lowe picks up the puck. Up for Dave Lumley. Lumley back for Lowe, and Lowe carries. Across the line, loses to Mark Chorney. Chorney, number 24, poked away by Stan Weir. Weir centers for Hunter. The shot, save, Millen. Tough save, shot it high. Millen got a shoulder on it. Poked away by Lumley. Lumley, back pass intercepted. And Paul Gardner comes out of the zone. Gardner across the line, left wing feed. Drive by Lunsbury, saved by Andy Moog. Fogelin loses to Lunsbury behind the net. Keogh has the puck. Keogh in front. Gardner missed as he was standing on the doorstep. Price fires across the crease. Keogh along the right boards with a drive. Save, a glove save at the post. Andy Moog looking right at it. Made the save, and he holds on.
What a glove save. Through traffic, he's down, and he didn't even see it till the last split second. You'll see him check his glove. A fine shot by Keogh. Keogh just shoots through the screen of players. You'll see everybody now around the net. Moog going down, and watch his reaction on the glove a second here. Look. Oh, yes, I've got it.
That glove bent back toward the net, but the puck stayed in it. 7:33 to go, second period. Edmonton 2, Pittsburgh 1. And Wayne Gretzky has an assist on one of those goals. And the new National Hockey League record for total points in a season, 153 and still counting. Messier, who scored the goal off the feed from Gretzky, tied up by Price. Puck carried in deep. Battle behind the net, picked up by Malone, poked ahead by Lee out to center. Broken up by the Oilers. Coffey's feed stolen by Malone. Malone across the line with a drive. Save! May have deflected off the post as well. Shutt has it on the near side. In front. Malone turns. Malone drop for Shutt. Save is made. High move. Shutt's back pass stolen away. Messier sends Anderson out. Anderson against Price. Drops it for Hagman. Hagman carries in. Hagman in control. Hagman in front for Messier. Shot. Anderson scores. Beautiful passing by the Oilers. And Glenn Anderson makes it 3-1 Edmonton.
Excellent passing. Anderson dropping it first to Hagman, then to Messier. Messier coming around over to Hagman, back to Anderson. Just a fine play. It starts coming into the zone with a drop pass, and then it ends up with that pass right there to Anderson standing all alone. He